now to the AAA team, Best RFI. So I have my lovely panel here with Sinead Bunting from Monster. Want great jobs, that's where you go. And I have Robbie Miller, who we've known for a long time, who is now working for AB InBev. So you want great beer, that's where you go. Just a little bit more background about yourselves, darlings.
I'll start. So I also worked agency side, like many people in the room. I worked at Mediacom and led a number of new business pitches there. And then I moved to agency side and at Monster, and I look after marketing for the UK and Ireland, as well as the consumer brand across Europe. So I was really excited to come to this because I know what it's like. I know the hard work that goes in to pitches. So I was really kind of interested to see, all the great work. So and I'm really happy to be here representing the women as well. I think maybe one of the things we need to kind of encourage other women to do is to have the confidence to take time out of the office and to not feel guilty about it. I know that I often don't kind of do things like this because I feel, oh, it's a real treat, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. So we need to kind of encourage everyone to kind of go and do it, and also that you can have a voice and you can, not to judge people, but maybe you can be part of that. Not to be judgmental, obviously, but yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Miller. I work in global lager category development at AB InBev. Until the 10th of October, I worked for SAB Miller, and I'd been there for 4 years, which has been a rather weird experience because the UK business of SAB Miller was sold as part of the transaction. So I found myself on the Friday officially still being a supporter of Peroni and Pilsner Urquell and cheering on that team. And then I came to work on the Monday. All the signage had changed, and I discovered that I was now cheering on Budweiser and Corona. Very, very strange experience indeed. So that's me.
Fantastic. So we had the RFI section, and we had a fantastic collection of responses on the RFI. Really, really creative, really rich ideas of everyone pushing, perhaps not their marketing themselves, but actually really hungry to get on a pitch. And the criteria that we had, and then we'll come and talk about it, okay, in a moment, were when you're looking at RFIs, actually, you don't have a great deal of time to look at them. And so the criteria were, instantly, are we excited about working with this agency? Secondarily, does this agency understand our business? Thirdly, is the agency hungry for it? So going a little bit of an extra mile, without spending too much money on it, just packaging it up nicely, doing something that's a bit special to stand out. And does the RFI represent who we are? An interesting feeding back into the marketing thing, playing true to who you are and being differentiating to who you are was really critical. Do you want to say more about that? Do you want to add into that, or should we show a little short film about it? Let's show the little short film and then we'll talk about it. So just saying, we've had some really good responses. And actually, we've got a couple here that we'll show when we come to talk about who the winners were. But just, Sinead, what struck you looking at the RFIs, and what stood out for you, and advice to the audience about what makes a cracker?
Well, whenever I arrived at the judging, they put you into the groups, and the group they gave me was RFIs. And I was like, Okay. Because to be honest, I wasn't really expecting that much from the RFIs. I thought, oh, the video will be really exciting and all that kind of stuff. But I was completely blown away and really, really impressed by the kind of various RFIs. I was so impressed with the kind of various amount of work. We could have had several runners-up, couldn't we? There's just fantastic work. I guess, really, I think when it comes to agencies and anything really in life, it's you want to know that they want you, whether it's the first date or whether your first impressions last. And the RFIs that won and the ones that kind of, in my view, kind of were the runners-up, where they really showed that they really, really wanted it badly. And they demonstrated that via the content. It's not just about how beautiful and innovative it was the content. They actually had insights. They understood the brand, as far as I knew. Not that the brand itself would know a lot more, but it seemed that they understood the brand. They had insights. They had a sensible approach. And they kind of give the impression that this agency can lead me to the future, navigate the future together. But they wrapped it up as well. Second thing, they wrapped it up in a really cool, innovative, and creative way. And it's almost like kind of played to my Catholic guilt, which was, I can't not see these people, because if I do, I'm just going to go to hell. But also that sense of fair play, we have to see these people. They've really made an effort. So guilt, it's a big thing. Play on it. So that's my recommendation.
Robbie.
I think we had about a dozen entries to look through, so I actually felt like quite a real process because we had a lot of entries to get through quite quickly. So as a result of that, what we realised is that the ones that became ones we wanted to have a second discussion about actually had to get onto that shortlist very, very quickly. So it was a case of, okay, let's pass them around, have a look. So we did that. And it was, yeah, that's really interesting. That excites me. Wow, look at that. They've really made an extra effort there. They've tried to understand the challenge that the client has. They've not just played back the client issue, but they've actually added something on top that shows that they have an insight. Those ones go on to the list. Whereas there were some where they were like 200-page magazines. And I thought to myself, am I expected to actually read this? I was leafing through it, but seriously, am I expected to read 200 pages of a magazine to get an understanding of the agency? Does that excite me? The one or two of the ones that ended up winning are really short. Really quick, really get it, very, very simple, creative ideas, very inspiring. They made you go, hey, that's really cool. I want to know more about these people. So Tick did the job because they would have been absolutely on the list of people we wanted to see. Yeah, just to add to that, I talked about the content, which is important, but impact, is really important as well. I work in Monster, it's a jobs website, but we've done research that showed that a recruiter, you have 8 seconds to make an impact with your CV. And I think, not maybe a bit more than 8 seconds when it comes to RFPs, but certainly you do have to have that impact that it kind of goes, whoa, I need to know more about this, and I'm excited.
I think when we take RFIs to a client, I generally categorise them in no, maybe, yes, and there's another category of rude not to. And there are some RFIs where they just stands out, and of course you've got to go and see them. It would be outrageous not to see them, having made that effort or really, really hit it. So that's a little gem. So
yeah, and some were dull. There's no doubt about it. There was a lot of that which is quite easy. So it made our job a lot easier. Yeah, so thanks to those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I just one piece of advice is I think there was quite a few of them where we got the impression that an awful lot of the creds are already on a system somewhere. The RFI comes in and in-slot a variety of pages, new cover, and out it goes. I think have a think about, is that really going to excite and inspire the client? Because actually, given some of the ones that we saw, they just simply didn't. They were very professional, very thorough, but just too long, way too long.
A bit of a cut and paste job, really. Yeah. But we know the effort, that people make, which is when you go above and beyond, people really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I've got one here that does deserve a special commendation. So let's talk about this one. Now, this was for Bowers and Wilkins, as it happens.
And we've got some questions from the audience.
No, I'm breaking the rules, darling. and we can come on to the question in a second, but this was done by Creature, and we'll talk about why this was right. Now, they won this category 2 years ago when I was here last, and I call them scruffy little fuckers. Because they're a scruffy little agency that have done very well and now grown up. And they've arrived here tonight in black ties, you'll see, deliberately, because they're now grown up, they're now married, they've now got children, they've now got proper accounts. And this was the RFI response that they did for Bowers & Wilkins, which they pressed a record with their story on it, which is in here. It was done as a record sleeve, very, very quickly with their story on it. And I just wondered if you want to pick on that as a fantastic example. And then we'll come to one or two questions, if that's all right, Victoria, one of which is what's your favourite colour?
To me, this is a really good example of something that really captured our imagination. So
Debbie McGee.
It is just a double album. There's little snippets here. I think I read every word on this because it was intriguing. And at the end of it, it was just like, absolutely, they would definitely be on the list of people we want to see. This is outstanding. It's for a music client. They've thought of a music theme. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's a thing of beauty. And when I first saw this, I was like, job done, right? I've got my winner. What I love as well is the people. You can see the people, and people by people, and you can see the team, and that's clearly laid out, and you can see these are the people I might be working with, and they seem pretty decent. Not only do they seem decent with their bios, they do fantastic work. So they're my kind of people.
And I think it just showed craft from an art direction point of view. It really showed craft and passion and care and real thought. Everyone was proud of it when it left the building. We'll ask a question, but I'm just going to answer one, which is, there was one about winning pictures, but there's nothing about winning pictures at this stage. There's a pure objective getting into a chemistry meeting. Do we want to see them? That's all that it's about. The pitch then follows. So the question was, how long, what's the attention span of when you're looking at an RFI?
I think the first look through was probably about 90 seconds.
I was thinking about this when talked about the CV, but I think when it's your own brand, we're all quite a bit fascinated by ourselves, aren't we? So we probably maybe 30 seconds more, but it's hard to say really because I think you spend a wee bit more whenever it's your own
I think
brand.
there are two levels. You've got your quick scan. Do I like them? Do I like them? Do I like them? Yes, and then I'm going to read much more information for you. So you've got to engage quickly to get a much deeper piece.
Peter, I think that's very fair. I think we'd spend a short period of time to do the quick scan, but then go much deeper.
Yeah. Right, Vic. Can we say who's won it? Okay. Can we say who the next runner-up is? You're going to show film. So the next runner-up is Mullen Low. And that was for this little puppy here.
Creature.
Wasn't it?
Yep.
And this little puppy was for... Oh, I'm going to put this down. It was for the Heathrow pitch. It's a little bit of effort, wrapping it up in a suitcase. And then we open it up. There is... Hang on a second. All you need for your travels, which was the 2 flight tickets, nice little touch. The RFI done in a whole section of magazines, but the core magazine, just some rubbish reading in there as well. The RFI was done with a series of magazines which were exactly the same, which is not that one at all. Here we go. Yeah. Exactly this one here. And it was a beautifully put together, very, very nice magazine that explained the story as part of what you want to do on your travels.
Okay.
Any insights on that, team?
Come on, it's up. Creature and Mullen Low, come down.
That's fine. Mullen Low, come on. And Creature, scruffy little fuckers dressed in black tie. Here he is. Here they are. So, he's now going to sing opera to us. And Robbie, do you want to talk about the winner?
Yes.
No, please.
Okay. Announce it and then talk about it?
Yeah,
or
talk about you both.
Okay.
And the winner is.
Okay. And the winner is it's Mullen Lowe again.
Media Hub.
Media Hub for Netflix. This was fantastic. What was done here was it was a takedown of the website, and it was completely redone as the RFI. You got to understand about the people behind the agency. It looked exactly like the website, showed that they really understood the space, got inside the client's business, and we just thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Really, really clever. And it's Mullen Lowe's night. Dale Gall, you owe me.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's give all the prize winners a quick round of applause.